130 miles an hour, and on the back straight into sector 1 I've got 140, just over 140 miles an hour, which is not bad for a 600cc unmodified road bike.
And there's a new one in the pipeline as well, a bit of a miniature Rossi replica, so look forward to seeing that in 2006.
They come under orders then. Who's it going to be? Oh, great start from all the front row, really couldn't follow that from anybody there. Virgin Mobile Cup into the first turn, which is Coppice. This is always a tricky one.
Tommy Bridewell had the right line, brilliant, followed by Brendan Roberts, I gather.
And nobody tripped up into turn 1. Fantastic. Through Charlie's, the Superbike boys could learn from that. Through Charlie's, the second apex, then it's on to the park straight, down into the dip. Tommy Bridewell, that is an
used every
start.
inch of the track. It almost looked like he ran wide, but he just timed it perfectly. Brilliant drive out of Charlie's down to park.
Park corner then. Bridewell's not going to get himself caught up in the melee for the braking positions, and they all remain in station, the top 4 or 5. Bridewell and Roberts through Chris Curve, and then while still hanked right over, they're into the braking area, the first part of the gooseneck, the right hand, and then it's a flop to the left, down to Mansfield Corner. And the left-hander, well, it's a long way down that hill. It doesn't look like much of a hill.
And it's steep, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And then you've got the left-hander, and it all twists and turns. It just tightens on the apex, on the outside of that corner, brings you back. And now we've got this newish chicane, came into operation last year to slow them down into this left-hander at the bottom of the mountain. They're going to be hectic over the hill. First time then, air time.
Adam Jenkinson, a good start for him. He's in 3rd position on the front row qualifier.
No jump starts either on this opening lap, so as we come through Hall Bends, done a good job there of opening out the safety areas around Hall Bends. Used to be horrendous, there was a bridge parapet just there. Now it's Barn, trickiest corner I reckon on the course.
Tommy Bridewell's so neat, he's using every inch of the track, but not having a moment, not having a movement on that R6 Yamaha.
Look how far down the field Billy McConnell is. I'll tell you what, we're going to have to count him through when he comes through. Billy McConnell was down in 8th place. And
they're really well strung out, and with the pace that Tommy Bridewell's got at the front, you'd think he would have no chance of catching the first 3.
141, 127. 141, 127. So, well, I've got a 136.8 as a lap record here, and I find that that is a hell of a pace that the lap record is at on an R6 Cup here. So we'll have to wait and see what Tommy Bridewell can do about that.
I think this existing lap record's a mid-36.
It's 36.8, yeah, and 35.6 was the time that Bridewell put in qualifying. So I think we can safely say that lap record is history.
Well, I would say this next lap, it's all over for the lap record. Tommy Bridewell doing a good job out front. Brendan Roberts, a much bigger, much heavier lad, Australian rider from Adelaide, tucked in behind Tommy. Right
on top of him. I'll tell you what, Tommy Bridewell's going to get a hell of a slipstream if Roberts goes past him, because he's going to suck him along.
Him and Adam Jenkinson.
Adam Jenkinson in 3rd place there on bike number 11. Behind him, Ian Lowry, the Irishman.
Adam Jenkinson in 3rd place there. Last year when he was doing his winning, he's such a smooth, neat, tidy, clean rider. Twice Mini Motor British champion, so an experienced rider on racetracks. But Adam Jenkinson, very smooth, great at passing. He keeps passing riders when he was doing his winning. He was almost ghosting past them. Looked really brilliant.
Still it is 18 Bridewell leading from 42 Roberts, 11 is Jenkinson, 17 is Ian Lowry, 13 is Anthony.
I'd like to ask Michael here, who, I mean, he's obviously in the R6 Cup paddock. Who is regarded as maybe the best rider? Is there any favourites out there?
To be honest, Keith, there's a few riders that stand out in everyone's eyes. Billy McConnell, Brendan Roberts, and although he didn't get off to a good start, I mean, Tommy Bridewell now, like you say, he's got to grips with the bike, and now he's got to grips with.
Yeah, he's really come strong for. I mean, he's totally unexpected, really, but since Knockhill, he just really has clicked with that bike.
Yeah, I mean, he's leading at the front here. Like you say, he's having no moments. He's using all the track. He's really neat. He's really tidy. Brendan's pressuring him, and I think Adam's sat there. I'm not sure if he's just checking out what's going on.
But Tommy, considering his experience, he does a good job to lead, because that's arguably the most difficult place to be.
Yeah, it's always pretty scary when you're at the front of the R6 Cup, because you know there's plenty of people about to beat you up behind you.
New lap record, lap 2, 135.8, going to Ian Lowry, so it's not going to Tommy. Tommy Bridewell might be the race leader, but it's Ian Lowry.
Ian Lowry.
4th place at the moment, is certainly on a mission, and there he is. So Lowry's closed right in.
There was a gap there, but it's soon disappeared.
It's gone. He's certainly closing in. He's eyeing up that rostrum for a start, right behind Adam Jenkinson there.
Ian Lowry 3rd in the championship at the moment. His first race this year at Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, he won 25 points. It was his first and last win of the year so far. going to say, he's been a bit mediocre. He's not been on the podium since then. So he's
well,
only
Brendan nicks through at the hairpin.
Oh, cheeky. Mind he's a big fella, he can do that,
He's a
can't
big fella. There's going to be some slipstreaming going on here. Brendan could end up fourth at the end of the straight.
Bless him.
That's rather harsh, and seems he is a rather large lad.
I hope he doesn't.
Behave yourself if I was you.
He's smart though. He's not.
Yeah,
he's keeping a tight line. Tight line there. That's a smart move from Brendan Roberts down the left-hand side of the track, not allowing any slipstream to go on him.
Well, not only that, he kept himself in the right line for into the turn to make Bridewell, if he was going to make a pass, round the outside. Now, this is where it's going to count being a lightweight, and I mean that in the nicest possible way.
And where Tommy Bridewell is strong, look at that.
Yeah, well, he had to happen. The horsepower versus weight. Couldn't beat him on the brakes, though. I'll tell you what, Brendan Roberts is good on the old anchors.
Good on the brakes, and weight makes a difference as well. You've got more weight to stop, it's more difficult to brake late.
Take another look at this. It's a cheeky little manoeuvre.
It really is. A manoeuvre we thought Tommy Hill might try.
Tommy Bridewell, though, did leave the door wide open. He took that sweeping line into the hairpin there, when half the time it's better off ramming it up to the apex and turning it back on the gas.
He certainly won't do that again, but Adam Jenkinson might be thinking about the same sort of manoeuvre. He's close enough.
Be interesting to see if he does. Well, we've got a few bends before we get to that hairpin to see whether Tommy Bridewell does leave the door wide open again. Up to the bottom of the mountain then.
Billy McConnell, championship leader, down in 10th position.
And slipping. He was in 8th just a couple of laps ago.
Oh, he had a wheel spin over the fresh air when the wheels spin up over the mountain there.
Through Hall Bends. Let's take a look and see what Tommy Bridewell does here with Adam Jenkinson. Adam Jenkinson isn't close enough, so it doesn't matter. But again, look, Tommy Bridewell on that big, wide, sweeping line.
Wide. Well, the first few laps, he was having a wide line and he was using the paint on the exit. It looked like a fast line. Brendan Roberts, number 42, looks like he's almost far enough in front to avoid Tommy Bridewell getting into his slipstream. He's still keeping it tight to the left. Very interesting.
Brendan Roberts leads.
Oh, Brendan Roberts left a big darkie there.
As he slung it on its side, it just let go.
He's a hard rider, and we know Brendan's messed up a few times in the past. Went down the last lap at Snetterton.
Don't want to be doing too much of that, that's for sure.
That's helped Tommy Bridewell. Look, Tommy alongside him. Not even in his slipstream, just down the outside.
Straight back on the gas, he sticks his knee in his fairing.
Contact.
I'll tell you what, Brendan Roberts...
Adam Jenkins is going to be the one to gain out of that manoeuvre.
Well, we'll call him Shane Warne, for want of a better phrase, shall we? Shane Warne is Brendan Roberts. Brendan Roberts is Shane Warne, trying to intimidate the hell out of Tommy Bridewell. You leave him alone.
I'll just elbow that 16-year-old out of the way. What does he think he's doing?
Oh, yeah. Mansfield.
This is...
and I'll tell you what, Tommy Bridewell's not taking it, is he?
The gloves are off.
It's a lightweight versus...
A middleweight.
Yeah.
Great racing, fantastic racing, and what we've come to expect in the Virgin Mobile Cup. Tommy Bridewell's not going away though.
He's definitely not going to be going away. I can't imagine what it's going to be like in another 5 laps time at the Park corner, because Bridewell will be forcing his way up the inside whatever happens.
I think Adam and Ian Lowry will be sitting there waiting to hear the scrape of fiberglass and see some sparks.
You're trying to suggest they may be the Tommy Hill of the Virgin Mobile Cup. So, lap 5 we are on 10. Here come your leaders. Brendan Roberts leads from Tommy Bridewell, who's looking up the inside.
Brendan's left the door open this lap.
Straight through. Do you know what? Following Brendan Roberts must be like slipstreaming Rob McElnay.
Oh, come on, he's not... No way is he even in Rob Mac's lead. He's not... He's... I say he's a little bit bigger, it's because the other riders are really small and little, and Brendan's just normal.
Just think back when you were racing against Rob Mack. Who gave you the biggest slipstream?
Drafted like a truck. It was fantastic.
Could get 6 people through. I mean, there was nothing he could do about it, the big fella. Except he was damn fast.
He was pretty fast, but certainly good for getting a toe at Hockenheim when you needed a fast lap in practice. You'd say everyone would be lined up at the start of that first straight, waiting for Rob Mack. Oh, Brendan's wide!
Brendan Roberts out on the marbles at the gooseneck.
Oh dear, pushing the front a little bit there, tyres are getting hot.
Well, you did mention a little bit earlier on, he might be a little susceptible for the odd mistake.
He does have the moment. He went off down at Croft, he went down at Snetterton.
And he's always... Whenever Brendan has a crash, it tends to be the front end. He runs really hard on the front end.
He's a last of the late breakers, we'll see.
Well, this was the braking session at the end of the Park Straight
it's the
into
elbow
Park.
moment.
Look at this,
There
we go.
Excuse me?
Yeah. LBW, leg before wheel. In Brendan Roberts' case. Bridewell still leads though.
Well, this is down into Mansfield on that same lap. Brendan tried to repay the compliment, but Tommy Bridewell tried to go around the outside, but then decided to wait for that start finish straight.
before zapping him again. Look at the lead he's got now. Tommy Bridewell out front, big time, over the line.
David Anthony there on the back of these, he's catching as well.
Fastest lap to Bridewell so far, 1:35.5. That is, of course, a new lap record. A 2nd and 3/10 under the old lap record. Phenomenal speed. That's got to be down to these new tyres, surely.
Certainly doing a good job, the D28 Dunlop. But Tommy Bridewell's toughed it out now, and now he's got a bit of a gap at the front. And you've got to think Tommy's a bit easier on his tyres than Brendan has been, but Brendan still hasn't quite lost them, but he really needs to be careful and not push that front too much.
Still long enough to go yet, though. We're only on lap 7 of the 10, 2.1 miles this racetrack round.
You can see Tommy Bridewell a little bit slower into park there, but certainly gets on the gas and gets out a bit quicker than Brendan Roberts. Third, Adam Jenkinson, Ian Lowry in fourth, and David Anthony, another Australian, coming up there in fifth.
I was expecting a bit more from Mark Pollock on the 34
Oh, Brendan.
as well. Wow, force it underneath him. Oh,
It worked.
it did. Well, that only goes to prove that there is a little bit more to come from Tommy Bridewell in some of the corners.
Yeah, certainly.
He's right out of the white line then, though.
I was just worried, like Michael said here, Brendan does push the front, and if he does go down, it's normally front end crashes, and he has to be so careful, because at some point these tyres are going to start slithering around.
But he is showing Tommy Bridewell one or two faster parts on the course. And I'm sure it's not lost on the youngster.
Yeah, Tommy Bridewell does have that lightness, the power to weight advantage, certainly good, and of course you can get in the slipstream there, he's good through here.
I suppose we should actually mention the series leader, Billy McConnell, on bike 75, back in 9th place at the moment.
I'm not sure why Billy's down that far.
Looking for John Boy Lee. John Boy Lee, who is 2nd in the series, is down in 7th place. So there's a real opportunity for Adam Jenkins and Brendan Roberts and Tommy Bridewell to put a hatful of points on these guys.
Certainly, I know Brendan Roberts regards Billy McConnell as maybe the biggest threat in the race, and like you say, Brendan's had a few DNFs, so he can drop these scores, but he really needs to grab some big points on Billy McConnell if he wants to make any impact.
Well, 3 more races after this one, including this race, 100 points still on the table. So not an insurmountable task at the moment to win this championship from behind.
It's a tough one. Billy McConnell did have a DNF at Knock Hill, so that's no points he drops from there. It's still a 4-way battle at the front here. I mean, any one of these guys could finish anywhere in the rostrum.
Tommy Bridewell's already had 2 no-point scoring situations.
So he's got genuine points.
His 80 points are genuine. He will be taking those full 80, plus whatever he gets here forward in the championship.
As does Brendan Roberts. He's had 2 DNFs.
Tommy Bridewell and Billy McConnell are the only 2 to have won 2 races in this, believe it or not. John Boy Lee, Ian Lowry, Brendan Roberts and Mark Pollard have all had 1 each. That's to show you just how close this series is.
How competitive it really is.
Lap 8 of 10, through Hall Bends. A lot of leaves on the track at the moment. Oh, I tell you what. Tommy Bridewell's bike, just with that slightly better power to weight ratio, just leaps out of that hairpin in bottom gear, doesn't it?
He just looks so safe as well. He just looks so confident.
I'm hearing that we're having a little bit of rain. That'll be something that will be
I saw Brendan Roberts having a look round there. I wonder if he saw rain in his visor and it was
there
looking
it
for
is
the other guys
to
to
just
stick the hand up.
Saw that on our camera there, Neil. Sorry to jump over you.
As they're on the penultimate lap now.
Oh, and look how close this is bunching right up now. It's all going to be about bravery. Who is going to be the young man that's going to force his way to the front? 25 points are at stake.
Could be Ian Lowry.
Abreast almost. Braking area. Tommy Bridewell has the advantage if he's not taken out by the others. And back to 4th place goes Brendan Roberts.
Well, no up there. Brendan tried to turn it so tight there. He was on the paint.
Not a good idea when it's just started to rain.
Yeah, you're right there. What do these tyres stick like, Michael, in the rain?
When it starts raining? In the wet, they're not
Red
too
flag.
bad.
Red flag.
Race be stopped. Will that go 1 lap back?
That will go 1 lap back, of course it will.
They'll call it a race then because they were on the penultimate lap there.
So, if it goes 1 lap back, that was Tommy Bridewell. That
Brendan Roberts on their monitor.
No, that's not 1 lap back though. That's as it is there.
Oh, I see.
It's I'm sure Tommy Bridewell crossed the line if we go 1 lap back.
Beg your pardon, yeah.
Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Red flag, rain, results at 8 laps. That's been confirmed. So, results at 8 laps. We're on lap 8. So that's it. According to that, Brendan Roberts wins from Tommy Bridewell from Adam Jenkinson, as far as I can work out.
That's a real shame, because that, as you said, the race was coming to a head. They were all bunching back up, but I bet Rob Mack will be pretty pleased about that, because they didn't have to go through the last lap shenanigans.
There's carnage potential there when the rain starts coming down.
Tell you what though, Tommy Bridewell was going to feel robbed for sure. Brendan Roberts did win it from Tommy Bridewell, from Adam Jenkinson. Ian Lowry in 4th place. Earlier conclusion regarding the Virgin Mobile Cup. Brendan Roberts then being awarded the win from Tommy Bridewell. Who will feel robbed? Adam Jenkinson gets on the podium in 3rd place. Ian Lowry 4th. David Anthony 5th. Mark Pollock, John Boy Lee and Billy McConnell. Standings then. Billy McConnell has John Boy Lee. Well, he's gained a little bit on him at the moment. Ian Lowry on 112. Brendan Roberts has scored big time there and moved right up to equal 3rd. Adam Jenkinson on 110. And 100 for Tommy Bridewell, so he's not out of it yet. He's already got both his non-scoring races. That is a true score for Tommy Bridewell, where some of the others have got to drop some